I just quit my job at the helium factory. I will not be spoken to in that tone. It's such a silly joke. Hello everybody and welcome to this video. My name is Phil and today I wanted to talk about a film. I bet you can't guess what it is. It's certainly not going to be in the title of the film, of the video. Yes, it is the Minecraft movie, which came out about a month or two ago. Finally got to see it and well, it's a movie. Barely. Now, I've watched a lot of other people their takes on things, and everyone's kind of unanimous with how this film is, and so I didn't particularly just want to sit here and hate on it for 10 minutes because it doesn't seem like there's any point to that. That's been done. But I did want to obviously talk about what was wrong with it and maybe some of the better points of it, if that's okay with you guys. As you know, I'm a channel that deals with games and deals with films and deals with stuff. So a game film or a film game, I'll always watch it, you know. And so Minecraft movie obviously is something that a lot of people have thought about possibly coming out for a long time. Finally did. It hit cinemas. We all saw the trailer and we all kind of went, what? Which was a great reaction. I think that was exactly what Warner Brothers wanted us all to do. I'm almost certain they intentionally did that. You have lots of characters in the film. You've got Jason Momoa, who is gay Jason Momoa with his pink jacket on. That was how we all thought of him at the beginning. We had Jack Black, who is Jack Black because he's Jack Black. He's not Steve. Not Steve. Not that Steve in the game has any personality whatsoever, because he doesn't. He's like a Lego man. There's no emotion to him whatsoever. But off the top of my head, I could think of about 4 or 5 people that could have played him so much better than Jack Black. Jack Black is a bums in seats person now. That is what he does. But anyway, we won't go too far ahead. You had a bunch of other characters that really weren't that interesting. In fact, I think some of the villagers actually had more emotion and more plot than them. And then you had the villains, which again were a bit... everything just felt a bit... it's just... Nothing landed, you know, there wasn't much there. Apart from one character, which I'll tell you about later on. Good points. It's visually quite pretty. It's actually quite nice to look at. Because there is something quite... Because I'm a Minecraft player. I like Minecraft. I'm not a fantastic survival player. Like, I don't know how to make lava chicken or whatever it is. But I do enjoy building. I like building structures. I'm pretty good at them as well. Not that I'm bragging, but I am very good at my building, and I'm more than happy to go on creative mode and build. So I love the style of Minecraft. I love how something so simple can look so fantastic as well. So it can kind of blow your mind when you all of a sudden you're sort of flying across the world, or you're trapped and you just see something and you're like, whoa, okay, that was cool. And it's just like a big cave system or something. There's something quite elementally wonderful about the game, and it is super simple as well. Minecraft is a very simple game. But that being said, visually it's good. Visually it's great. And the other sort of really big good thing about the film is the marketing. I think whoever marketed this film did a fantastic job. They did an amazing job of marketing Minecraft. They really hit it hard. They paid to have the plastic models in McDonald's, which I've got 3 here. They're great. They had the boxes, the Happy Meal boxes as well, which I did save one. I kept one of my children's Happy Meal boxes just because I have a funny feeling that this will be something in the future that may be collectible. They had lots of different options, lots of different things going on, lots of different extra bits that came out. And it really felt like an old school marketing campaign for a movie. And it's It really is. Because I've worked in sales, and it would be what you would call. It's like a mountain out of a molehill situation. Yeah, you'll have a bed or a sofa or something you're selling, or a car that's shit, and you know it's shit, and they know it's shit, but it's that car in particular is going to make you an extra £100 if you sell it. So what are you going to do? You're going to just talk it up, and it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. And if you keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it, you believe it. And that is exactly what the marketing team did for Minecraft. They just made us want to see it because of so much just stuff in our faces. Just bang, 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 bang. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. And that's what they did. And whoever did that marketing campaign, it should get an award, because the film will not win an award. It just doesn't deserve anything. But it certainly did. Yeah, the marketing team deserve an award because they made something out of absolutely nothing. So the film is, you've got the main characters. They so there's Jason Momoa, because he's Jason Momoa. He was a game he was like a super game player. He's like what's his face? Oh, what's his name? Oh, that guy who was like the best Pac-Man person. I don't know. Anyway, he's like an incredible player. And then he isn't anymore. And he owns a shop, but he's got no money, basically. And then you've got the girl who was in Wednesday, who was her friend, the kooky one. She's in it. She looks about 12. You've got Henry, which my son loves because his name's Henry, and he exists, and he's been bullied at school because he makes a jetpack. I'm pretty sure if you made a working jetpack, you would be fucking loved. You know, it would be like fucking, you get your dick sucked. Seriously, if you look at me, I've just made a jetpack. Fucking hell, come here, I will suck you dry. And you go, no, Mr. Maths teacher, you've been told. Okay. Enough of the rude jokes. But so there's him, and then there's a lady who is there purely because she's a black lady. Sorry, but it's true. She has absolutely no part in this film whatsoever. She spends most of the film just going the green screen because she's got no reason to be there. She, for some reason, must do kind of. It's never explained what she does. She just kind of she just turns up at the house when Wednesday's friend and Henry turn up and goes, "There's the house," and then fucks off. So the plot is that Steve, Jack Black, doesn't want to live in the real world because he's boring. So he decides he wants to live in the mines, and everything's this over the top. Jack Black at this point in his life has just become a meme. Everything he says is over the top, and it's like he's one of those actors that he's just Jack Black. He played Claptrap in the Borderlands movie, which again was shit. And it was shit, but he was Jack Black, as it wasn't Claptrap. It was Jack Black in a robot. And it seems like he's kind of adopted this now. He is just Jack Black in whatever he's in. That's what he does now. It's, he doesn't character act. He's just Jack Black. And he does it here as well. He's Jack Black in a blue t-shirt. So he thinks world is boring. He finds a portal to the Minecraft world where he can do whatever the hell he wants. He befriends a wolf named Dennis. He makes lava chicken. He fucking opens the netherworld. He goes in, fucking pisses everybody off because he exists or something, and then he says to Dennis the dog, he says, Dennis, hide this from me, and Dennis runs off and hides the box under his bed, which then finds its way into an Atari box. I'm not sure how that happens. Jason Momoa buys the box because he does this Storage Wars thing, and then they all meet together and they go in the world of Minecraft, and that's how they all get there. And that's probably the first 35 minutes, I think. And then when they're in there, they spend most of the film mugging at the scenery they can't see, and then they spend the last sort of 20 minutes redoing Lord of the Rings, and then that's it. That is pretty much the film, and it's fine. I mean, it was a shame because Henry he's 9 and he enjoyed it. He really liked it, but it felt as though the film was one gigantic just shit happening. And it was almost like whoever the director who directed Napoleon Dynamite. Napoleon Dynamite is a brilliant film. It's perfect. It's the best film in the world. It's such a stupid movie, but it's great and it's well made. And it just doesn't work here. That kind of comedy, that kind of kooky, silly, it just doesn't work. You've got Jack Black chewing the scenery he can't see. You've got the rest of them just mugging at whatever's going on. And it just, none of it really matters. It's almost like the director went to see Warner Brothers and Warner Brothers went, you make a Minecraft movie, you do whatever you want. The plot is all down to you. You just need to hit this list of shit. And it was like fucking this long. And it was like, Jesus Christ, chicken jockey, lava chicken, water bucket hack, just so much shit on this list that they had to cram into this film. And it just felt very unnecessary. It's a shame because obviously the Mario movie came out, and although it wasn't brilliant and it was very woke, there was the idea of the princess doesn't need saving, and Mario's the shit one who gets slightly better as the film goes on. And then you've got Bowser just simping for Peach. He's like, oh, I fucking love Peach. It's so good. I'm Peach. And that's another thing I forgot. There's the random singing. Just random singing. Jack Black just belts out a tune. He just belts out tunes now. That's what Jack Black does, and he sings about, there's a birthday song, and then he does the lava chicken song, and then he does a hair metal song at the end, and then he does something else, and he does a goodbye song as well, which was another one that just, I don't know, I wanted to like it because it made my son so happy, but I couldn't find the words to like this film. I'm a movie snob, and it was so difficult to endure it. But so a lot happens. There was a few moments that actually made me laugh out loud, but I think a lot of it was down to the sheer stupidity, just the preposterousness of the joke. There was a bit where literally they're on a wingsuit, but Steve doesn't have one, so he jumps off the side, and then he's literally riding Jason Momoa while holding onto his hair with this stupid. And it's not funny because it's funny, because it's a gag you get. It's funny because I get thinking to myself, they did this in a studio on a green screen. How did they have this conversation? I can imagine that being more awkward than having a sex scene with somebody in a film. It'd be like, now you got to climb on his back now. It's like, but another sad thing is, right, and I just wanted to kind of point this bit out, was so I found Minecraft's been out since about 2007. Now that's 18 years. That's 18 years this game's been out. Now if you played it back then when you were 10, and it's still relevant today, it's still big today. It's the biggest grossing, highest biggest turnover game ever made. It's the most successful game ever created, right? So that is it. It's the biggest, most successful game ever created, ever. It's on the most platforms. It's the most played. It's got the most players still. Huge game. Huge game. It is the computer's equivalent of Lego. So you have different age groups of people. In fact, probably if someone who was maybe 10 or 12 when they were playing it back in 2007, then in theory they're old enough to have children now. So there's 2 or 3 generations there, and it felt very much like it was just a very young person's film. And a lot of, especially Disney do this, and DreamWorks, they'll have a nudge joke to the parents, so it'd be like, wow, I hear he always keeps his blocks down there in his pockets, you know, and then you'd go, ha, and then the kids would go, what, Dad? And you go, nothing, don't worry about it. You don't get that. That's for me. There was none of that. There was one point where Jason Momoa is riding a ghast. This is what I've been told by my son, that it was a ghast with a big octopus thing. And he's flying it, and he tells the kid to poke it, the tentacles with this big stick. He says, poke the tentacles and it'll launch fireballs. And the kid says, how did you know how to do this? And he says, don't ask. And I felt like it was a punchline to a rude joke. But I was thinking, well, I don't get that. I just didn't get it. I couldn't get it. I didn't understand what that meant, you know. So it lost me a little bit. But but yeah, a lot of the jokes didn't land. There was a few funny moments. Jack Black has the energy. More energy than ever. You know, the guy's got to be pushing mid-50s now. He's still got a lot of energy. And he's got a heart, and I think that I forgive Jack Black a lot of things just because of his heart. He seems like such a sweet guy, and he seems like someone who genuinely does care. I think he's given up on the idea that he's going to be an Oscar-winning person when he didn't win anything for King Kong, or what was the other one called? The one with Jude Law and a couple of others. I can't remember, but King Kong was probably his biggest shot at an Oscar or an Academy Award, and he didn't get that. So. He was so wrongly cast in that film. It just didn't work for him at all. So he just does Jack Black now. He's just Jack Black, and that works for him. But yeah, it's all over the place. The plot is very difficult to follow. He's trying to stop the piglins from coming into the Minecraft world, and there was a whole thing where we had just before, because I'll use this point. So, and I've seen this done in a film before, and I'm asking you guys what the film is. There's a bit where they go through the portal, and they are in the Minecraft world, and then a villager, just a random villager, comes through into the real world and gets up to Capers here. It's been done before in the 80s and 90s, where just a random character finds their way into the real world, and they kept cutting back between the two. And the villager then gets run over by Jennifer Coolidge, who talks like, oh my God, I can't believe I ran you over with my Jeep Grand Cherokee. And I was thinking, fucking hell. She had to get that in. Not just Jeep, it had to be Jeep Grand Cherokee. And then she takes him to dinner and they fall in love. And there's a horrible joke where the waiter comes over. So for some reason, there's a bit where she's talking to him and then a waiter is just holding a fucking chicken. And she goes, no, like, why would he bring that over? What was that? Did they, unless they've ordered the chicken, I don't want any chicken. What was that? I didn't get that. Apparently the guy who held the chicken as well was one of the makers of Minecraft. He was one of the first creators of Minecraft. But he's just holding a roast chicken. And she just goes, no. And then he fucks off and then carries on. And there's this horrible joke where another waitress comes over and asks them if they finished. And she goes, no, I think he's Swedish. And I thought, oh, fuck me. That was so painful. That was horrible. And then she took him back and sucked his cubic cock. I don't know what she did, but she did something. Because then they fell in love. And this horrible joke with... It's just horrible. It's just... None of the jokes landed. And they never felt like you were laughing at things, you know? And even my kids were pointing out the stupidity of some of the jokes. They were like, oh yeah, because that happens in the game. Which was quite... When your kids are pointing out the futility of a movie, you know it's bad. And that was it, really. They did, at the end, have a running gag where the villager could speak, and he spoke like Stephen Toast. Yes, I'm Matt Berry. Which was great, because Matt Berry was actually picked to be Steve. Initially, he was in the running to be Steve. And then Jack Black won. Maybe because he's got a little bit more of a profile when it comes to cinema, which I think is sad because Matt Berry is great. I love Matt Berry. I've loved him ever since I saw him in Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. And if you've never watched it, watch it. It is fucking perfect as a comedy. best comedy ever. So there's Garth Marenghi's Dark Place. He was in It Crowd. He was in loads of stuff. He was in kind of all sorts of bits and bobs. But he always talks like that. He did obviously Toast of London. And there's this joke where he can now speak proper English, the villager. And he talks like Stephen Toast, Bats, because he's in one we did in The Shadows. And I think that's where his American appeals come from, is that. And then Jennifer Coolidge just starts doing a villager, and he's like, and he's like, fucking hell. Oh, God. And I love Jennifer Coolidge. Like, I genuinely think she never takes herself seriously. I think she is she seems wonderful. She seems like she's just so down to earth, and she's happy with what she's doing. But she's just, don't know what she's quite doing in this film. She's just struggling. So yeah, there's not much more. Look, it's fun. The kids enjoy it. My son definitely enjoyed it. It's Minecraft. It's got a few points in it. It's a shame they didn't do more with the film. I think they could have really pushed the envelope. They went for a very safe story. They did a few nods to a few other franchises. They did Lord of the Rings. They did Game of Thrones. That was another one. And the best character in the entire film was the Storage Wars guy, who is Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords. Also was the writer and creator of What We Did in the Shadows. And he's the Storage War owner. And he's brilliant. He's on the screen for about 5-10 minutes. And he's amazing. He's brilliant. Because he's genuinely a really, really funny guy. And, and he just loses Jason Momoa. And I must have hats off to him as well. He really tried his hardest to be as funny as he could. I don't think comedy is his thing, but he certainly gave it a really good stab, and I couldn't knock him for that. And Jack Black is just Jack Black. So I'm not going to say it was the worst film ever. I wouldn't rush out to watch it again. Like I said, there were a few moments that made me chuckle because I like silly humour, and it definitely had some silly moments in there. But that was it, really. So I'd probably give it maybe a 4 out of 10. I don't think it's quite as bad as everyone's saying. Everyone's kind of really ragging on it. The best thing about it, and I always say this, is it didn't feel like an hour and 40 minutes. It felt more like an hour. It was a very, very, very quick film. You could say that was because of the pacing being off. It was too fast and there was shit happening all over the place. But yeah, it was quick, and it moved along at a decent pace. But it did feel like a fairground ride. Great, lots of shit happening on the screen to keep you interested while it's going, but very forgettable once you were off. You could never recall any of the bends, corners or loops when you got off. It was just something that had taken place, and now it's gone. So yeah, there you go. That is my take on the Minecraft movie. Guys, don't take my word for it. As with anything, please don't ever listen to critics like me. Always see things for yourself. Always have a look for yourself. It's never a waste of time. Even if you see a bad movie, you can always then understand the things that make films bad, so you can learn from them in the future when you're watching a film. And you can always take something from a movie. It was pretty, it was colourful, and it did have a few laughs here and there. Guys, thank you very much for joining me on this video. Hopefully you're having a wonderful week. I've got a couple more videos coming up, including another pickups video. Yes, I have. And I am planning to do a birthday stream. It was my birthday a couple of weeks back, but I've been super busy with work. And I would love to do a live stream with you guys for my birthday, where we can talk about birthday things. And we can talk about games and have a laugh. But I will let you know closer to the time. Guys, thank you very much, and I shall see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Press that button down there, and I will appear on your screen like this. Because I've just done a shit and wow, but I will still have my trousers on. Thanks, guys, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.